Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today I want to talk about Crash Bandicoot, and I know many of you always say, oh, well, all you post is about Crash Bandicoot, but that's not the point. In this video I will be giving you a quick guide into the Crash Bandicoot series and why it is such an amazing franchise and its history, talking about all the mainline games and their plots until the latest installment of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. In this video we won't be going over many of the spin-offs in this franchise, such as Crash Team Racing, Crash Bash, Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure, Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced, Crash Nitro Kart, Crash Purple, Crash Tag Team Racing, and the poo itself, Crash Boom Bang.
Your creation was a mistake. Absurd.
But before we continue with this video, only 6% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel. Why? 94% of my viewers are not subscribed. That is a very large amount of people, so why won't you do it? I'll be keeping my eye on you, so you better like and subscribe right now. Come on, don't be shy. I'll be waiting, and I will be checking. Crash Bandicoot is a platform video game series created by Andy Gavin and Jason Rubin. The series was first released in 1996 and was first developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the Sony PlayStation. The series follows the adventures of a marsupial, Crash Bandicoot, a genetically enhanced Eastern Bandicoot, created by a mad scientist Dr. Neo Cortex. Crash is often accompanied by his ally, Aku Aku, a floating mask that protects him from harm. The series has been praised for its vibrant cartoon-like graphics, humorous characters, and challenging gameplay. It had also been credited with helping to popularize the 3D platformer genre. The series has sold over 50 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling video game franchises of all time. The game had numerous sequels, spin-offs, and remakes. Crash Bandicoot has become a beloved icon in the gaming world, and its success has been attributed to its unique and innovative gameplay, colourful characters, and humorous story. The first Crash Bandicoot game was first released in 1996 for the Sony PlayStation. It follows the adventures of the main character of Crash Bandicoot as he attempts to stop the plans of the evil scientist Dr. Neo Cortex. Crash must travel through various levels, defeating enemies and collecting Mumpa Fruit to stop Cortex's plans for world domination. Crash, who is captured and experimented on by evil scientist Dr. Neo Cortex and his assistant Dr. Nitrous Brio. However, during the experimentation process, Crash manages to escape and ends up on a tropical island. However, Crash's girlfriend Torna is not so lucky and remains captured by Dr. Cortex. The island is home to an ancient witch doctor named Aku Aku, who informs Crash of Cortex's evil plan to create an army of mutated animals using the power of the crystals. Aku Aku asks Crash to help him stop Cortex and retrieve the crystals. Meanwhile, I think Crash only started this massive adventure to save his girlfriend. Crash sets out on a journey to retrieve the crystals, battling various enemies along the way, including Cortex's henchmen and genetically altered animals. He's aided by Aku Aku, which provides him with magical protection and guidance. As Crash progresses through the game, he collects various power-ups and special abilities that help him overcome obstacles and defeat enemies. He also encounters various bosses, including Cortex himself, who he must defeat in order to retrieve the crystals. In the end, Crash manages to collect all the crystals and confronts Cortex on his flying platform. After a difficult battle, Crash defeats Cortex and destroys his platform, sending Cortex falling into the ocean below. The game ends with Crash saving his girlfriend Torna and celebrating their victory and enjoying the newfound freedom. Cortex, however, is shown to have survived and is seen floating in the ocean, plotting his revenge. Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, was also developed by Naughty Dog a year later in 1997 for the Sony PlayStation. But the story continues off from Crash Bandicoot 1. The main character, Crash, attempts to foil the evil plans of his nemesis, Dr. Neo Cortex, by beginning with Cortex landing on a remote island. He discovers a crystal with incredible power. He tells Crash to help him collect 25 crystals scattered throughout different levels, which he claims are necessary to save the world from an impending danger. As Crash collects the crystals, he begins to suspect that Cortex may have other ideas. Crash is aided in his quest and his sister Coco, who has created a device called the Portal Vortex that allows Crash to travel to different areas and dimensions to collect the crystals. Along the way, Crash encounters new allies such as Polo the Polar Bear, who helps him overcome obstacles and defeat enemies and bosses. As Crash collects the crystals, he discovers that Cortex has been lying to him all along, and that the crystals are actually being used to power a super weapon called the Cortex Vortex, which Cortex plans to use to enslave the world. Crash must stop Cortex and his minions, including the genetically enhanced Komodo brothers, Tiny Tiger, and Dr. Engine. In the final battle, Crash confronts Cortex and manages to destroy the Cortex Vortex, saving the world once again. Cortex escapes, vowing revenge, setting up the events for the next installment in the series. Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped is my personal favourite of the original trilogy, as it is very action-packed platformer, also developed by Naughty Dog in 1998, and was this final mainline game of the original series, not counting Crash Team Racing. This game follows the adventures of Crash 2. His sister Coco and Aku Aku try to stop the evil plans of Dr. Neo Cortex and his evil mask Uka Uka that was freed and escaped his evil prison after the failed Cortex Vortex in Crash 2 crashed onto Earth. See what I did there? The game begins with two evil villains escaping from their prison and plotting to take over the world. By collecting powerful crystals that are scattered across time and space, Crash and Coco, along with Aku Aku, must collect these crystals before Cortex and Uka Uka do, to prevent their evil plan from succeeding. To do so, they use a time-twisting machine called the Time Twister, which allows them to travel through different eras and locations, from the prehistoric era to ancient Egypt, from medieval times to the future. Throughout the game, Crash and Coco face numerous challenges such as navigating through tricky platforming levels, battling against bosses, and even engaging in vehicle combat and racing. Along the way, they also encounter a variety of interesting characters, such as a friendly pterodactyl called Baby T and Purr the Tiger. They also meet a time-traveling secret agent called Entropy, and even at the end of the game, a younger version of Cortex himself. As they collect crystals, they unlock special abilities and power-ups that help them on their quest, such as a supercharged spin attack, a fruit bazooka, and more. Ultimately, Crash and Coco manage to collect all the crystals and confront Cortex and Uka Uka in the final showdown. In the end, they emerge victorious and save the world from their evil plans. The game ends with Crash and Coco returning to their home island, where they relax and enjoy some well-deserved rest. Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex is the fourth mainline game of the series, now developed by Traveller's Tales, and published by Universal Interactive. It was the first game of the franchise that was developed for the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, and the Nintendo GameCube in 2001. Basically, in this game, Uka Uka is pissed that Cortex and his henchmen are terrible at being so evil. So Cortex creates Crunch, who is a genetically enhanced Bandicoot programmed to eliminate Crash and take over the world. Crash sets out on a mission to stop Crunch and has created Dr. Cortex by collecting crystals from different parts of the world. The crystals, as always, are needed to power a device that will defeat Crunch. Crash is joined on his quest by Coco and his friend Aku Aku. The trio travels to different worlds and faces a variety of challenges and enemies, including the Elementals, a group of powerful beings who control the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. As the game progresses, Crash and his friends collect crystals and eventually faces off against Crunch and Cortex in a final battle. The boss fight here is actually alright in this game and uses all of the elemental mask powers. At the end, Uka Uka rages at Cortex for failing again, and when attacking him, he accidentally blows up the ship. In the meantime, while Cortex and Uka Uka are arguing, Crunch is saved by Crash and is freed from Cortex's mind controls. Together, they celebrate their victory while Cortex and Uka Uka are fighting on an iceberg, leading to the intro of the next game, Crash Twinsanity. Crash Twinsanity, my favourite of the whole series. It is a semi-open world platformer, also the fifth mainline game of the Crash franchise, also developed by Traveller's Tales, but this time published by Vivendi Universal. The game was released for PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox in 2004. The game's story continues from Wrath of Cortex, but this time, Crash and Cortex are faced to team up when confronted with new villains, mutated parrots, Victor and Moritz, who threaten to destroy Insanity Island, Crash's home. Crash and Cortex set out on a wild adventure, travelling across a variety of different worlds and levels, encountering numerous challenges, obstacles and bosses along the way, such as Cortex and Mecha Bandicoot, Engine, Rusty Walrus, Entropy and Embryo, Dingo Doll, Madame Ambly, and the evil twins themselves. As the game progresses, the relationship between Crash and Cortex evolves, with the two characters forming an unlikely bond as they work together to save the world. However, their partnership is tested when they find out that the evil twins plan to use the Psychotron to take over the universe. It is later revealed that Cortex as a kid experimented on his pet birds, which he sent to another dimension and just forgot. Now, the evil twins are back for revenge and Crash and Cortex must work together to defeat the evil twins and his minions, to stop them from destroying the universe. To find their secret base, they enter another dimension where they meet evil Crash in an unexpected way. and after defeating the evil twins, they get eaten by evil Crash from another dimension. This game is absolutely hilarious and has many memorable moments, despite it being a rushed game with many glitches and exploits. However, many people love it, and there are fans still asking for this game to receive a remake with all the cut content for modern consoles. Although it's looking unlikely, we never really know. The sixth game of the series took a massive turn into a beat 'em up genre, with a small mix of platforming. The developers were again switched around, and Crash of the Titans was developed by Radical Entertainment and published by Sierra Entertainment. The game was released for many consoles such as the PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and the Wii. There was also a very different port for the Nintendo DS in 2007. To cut the story short, Cortex created an army of mutants called Titans in an attempt to take over the world. Who could have guessed? In the game's opening scene, Cortex kidnaps Crash's sister Coco and uses a device called the NV to brainwash her and other creatures on the island. However, as Crash defeats Cortex in his first boss fight, Uka Uka replaces him with Nina Cortex, Cortex's niece. As Crash progresses through the game's levels, he is able to use a variety of special abilities that he has gained from defeating the Titans. These abilities include the ability to jack Titans, whatever that means, allow him to take control of their movements and use their unique abilities to his advantage. In the game's final levels, Crash confronts Nina and Cortex in battle to save the world from their evil plans, and at the end, Crash emerges victorious and Cortex is defeated once again. Crash Mind Over Mutant is the 15th installment of the Crash Bandicoot series in total, but actually is the 7th mainline game of the series, and the last before the game disappeared into existence for 12 years. Before the brand new game of the modern era, Crash Mind Over Mutant was another beat-em-up game, based on an open world developed by Radical Entertainment and published by Activision in 2008. The story begins with Crash, Coco, Crunch returning to Wampa Island after their previous adventure. However, they find out that their arch-nemesis, Cortex, has teamed up with an old friend, Nitrous Brio, to create an army of mutants that will take over the world. Crash on this adventure are set out to stop the evil doctors, and as soon as they discover that the only way of defeating the mutant is using a device called the NV, which can brainwash the creatures and turn them against their masters. Crash and Aku Aku, however, don't fall for this trick when the NVs are delivered to their house. However, Coco and Crunch get brainwashed and join Cortex in his plans. Crash must beat them in battle and rescue them while fighting mutants and travelling across a large open world. Crash and Aku Aku eventually fight their way through Cortex's lair, with the mutants returning to their original forms. Cortex in his rage turns himself into a mutant, and after being defeated by Crash for the 7th time, the game ends with Crash, Coco and Crunch enjoying their victory and looking forward to the next adventure. The most recent installment of the franchise is Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, developed by Toys for Bob and published by Activision in 2020. This was Crash Bandicoot's first brand new game with a brand new story since Mind Over Mutant. In this game, Entropy takes over as being the bad guy. Uka Uka dies after using all of his powers to open the Quantum Rift, which are basically doors between dimensions. The villains have been tampering with the fabric of time itself, creating havoc all over the world. The main goal of this game is for Crash and Coco to find the quantum masks and use them to put a stop to Dr. Entropy's plan. As they travel across different times and dimensions, they encounter Dingo Doll and Torna from different dimensions. With the help of Torna and Dingo Doll, Crash and Coco travel across different worlds and times, collecting the quantum masks. In order to restore time to its natural state, they face a multitude of dangerous creatures, powerful bosses, and dangerous time puzzles. To collect all 4 quantum masks, Cortex takes Crash's side and helps them to take control. Cortex later betrays Crash and his friends by stealing Kumpunawa and went back in time to go back to 1996 to prevent his past self from ever creating Crash in the first place. By the end, they are able to confront Cortex to put a stop to his evil plans. The day is saved, but Cortex is still around. To make sure that the villain never returns, Crash and Coco decide to keep the quantum masks for themselves. In doing so, they not only protect the world from danger, but also open up a set of new possibilities for them and Dingo Doll. They can explore the boundaries of time, take on any challenge they desire, and most of all, live their lives to the fullest. I am Car Ninja, and I am very happy to have you here. On this channel, you'll find lots of Crash Bandicoot content and other retro games. I post videos, shorts, and sometimes I live stream other games. Whether you're here to watch Crash Bandicoot, I hope you find something valuable in each and every video. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And if you enjoy what you see, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Your feedback means the world to me and helps me create even better content in the future. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!